Are PSG the best team in the world? I think that's a big yes. They just won the Champions League and the Club World Cup, so how they played this season. And I think they are the best team in the world, and they proved it again today against Atletico Madrid. I've always known Atletico Madrid is a difficult side to beat. Atletico Madrid have the way they set up haram football. That's what we know them as, haram football. But PSG dominated them today entirely from start to finish. PSG dominated from start to finish. PSG were the better team by far. If you look at the scoreline, 4-0, PSG 4, Atletico Madrid 0. And the names on the score sheet kind of tells the tale of the whole story. Because we know PSG is a well-oiled machine. Everybody plays as a unit. So seeing names like Fabian Ruiz, Vitinha, Mayulu, and Kangin Lee on the score sheet kind of tells you that it wasn't just about being the big boys. Now, Dembele did not play because he was injured, but it's not about being big boys or all of this. It's about the entire team. And Fabian Ruiz's goal was a masterpiece. And Mayulu, if you remember Mayulu from the Champions League final, came on and got the goal against Inter Milan, the third youngest ever scorer now in the Champions League history, I think. But although this scoreline tells the tale of the game, some people are going to come on later to talk about the refereeing. Now that's where I want to go to. I don't think that the refereeing, the way they will portray, other people may portray it, is the way that it's seen. Now the name of the referee for this game was Istan Kovac. So surely you remember this guy from the Champions League final, Istan Kovac, and he's had a good reputation. But I'll say up to today, because if I'm going to come and say bad things about him, but he just did his job. Istan Kovac, we know he has covered, I think he has been one of the refs to cover the most Champions League games currently. I think of the active refs, he has covered around more than one. I think the Champions League and the Europa League final, he has covered around 2 back-to-back like that. But people are going to come here and say he didn't referee well. Yes, he had a few errors, but the team now started to look like he was doing what he was. His decisions were in PSG's favor, and that was a lie. He had a lot of justifiable calls. Now you can talk about the handball against Nuno Mendes. Yes, that should have been a yellow card. And VR should have called him back for it, even if he didn't see it. Then there was a foul that from Korea on Nuno Mendes. People will say, yes, that's a big call. He should have called that. But there was the way Korea lashed out. I think that was harsh. But the other calls were not really as bad as people would make it. Istakovac just did his job. And announcing his decisions, why he made certain decisions after the VAR check, I think that's a big game changer for football. Somebody was saying, why is football doing that? Football is beginning to sound like the NBA. I think for a very long time I've been in the dark about why a referee makes these decisions. Why giving a red card, a yellow card for a VR decision? Why? Tell us. And from this Club World Cup, they are doing it because it's something that they already do in America and MLS. I'm familiar with the MLS. The referees come on in their CONCACAF competitions and all of that, and they come on and say, this is why they are giving this foul after a VAR review. So I think that this makes sense. And Kovac did all of this, and he made us know why he made certain decisions. The handball was a clear handball. You couldn't have said that that was not a clear handball. The card on Mandala, I know that that's Renildo. I don't know I know that's Mozambique. I don't know his other name. That was a foul, and that was a yellow card. There's nothing like first foul. He came on and he went into the way. He almost crashed the guy's legs. That's a foul. They're just coming in. That's a foul. A few other calls, very justifiable calls. It's just that the way the team was going on, you will feel like he was in PSG's favor. He cancelled Atletico Madrid's goal. That was a clear foul on the way again. Koke didn't get the ball. Why are we going to act like Koke didn't obstruct Due's movers? At the end of the day, Due wasn't going anywhere with the ball. But Koke went to go and put his body in the way. When you put your body in the way for a player that's not going anywhere, you're going to get carded for it. You're going to get called back for it. It's like what Musiala did in the game today. Musiala shielded the ball and he expected contact. And the contact came. You can't expect that ref not to give a penalty. It's just the way it is, and it is what it is. I think Kovac had a good game. He officiated well, actually. But the way the fouls kept on coming, it was like it was against Atletico. And Atletico, they play haram football, and they play some kind of very rough football in a way. So these fouls were going to get called against them. But overall, fine game, 4-0 PSG. I told you already, among my favorites to win it. So let's see how they go.